You know, I sold cars for 43 years, and I'm going to show you seven fees that you should never pay when you're buying a new or a used car.
First fee you should never pay for, Dad? Nitrogen. You're looking at a deal worksheet that shows nitrogen. Doesn't even say what the nitrogen's for $199. Another fee you should be prepared to see from car dealers and be ready to negotiate: door edge guards for $299. And then my favorite, you see these dealers all the time put tint on the windows. Well, that's going to cost you, in this case, $499. Here are three fees, and this is all just from one dealer, Hendrick Lexus in Kansas City. We pulled this quote from the Dealer Transparency Index back at CarEdge.com. Three examples of some extra fees and add-ons that you should be prepared to negotiate at the dealership, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Nitrogen. You know, the air is made up of 78% nitrogen. So the theory is they're going to suck all the air out of your tires and replace it with 100% of nitrogen, which might be good for Hendrick's racing, but it has no value to a customer just buying a regular Lexus. And well, door edge guards, they might cost the dealer $20-$30. And tinted windows, all four windows, bless their heart. I don't know. I'm guessing it might cost them $150-$200. These are all overpriced accessories, dealer installed accessories that have high profit margins that you should be able to negotiate either off entirely or negotiate the price down substantially.
Yeah, dealers add these onto their new and used cars. Well, actually, sometimes they don't even add them onto the vehicles, but they'll tell you they've added them onto the vehicles. It's a profit center. They do this to make additional profit. Here's another example. Now we're at Paul Miller Toyota of West Caldwell. This is on a 2017 used Toyota, Dad. And you can see here, of course, you get the big discount, $2,595, but the fees and add-ons you need to be prepared for, as a customer, it's the vehicle theft replacement for $399 and then Resistol 360 for $1,495. These are, again, examples of added on products and fees, two more of them that you just have to be ready to negotiate. And I'm even going to flag on this one, Dad, the processing/doc fee of $1,007. That is insanely high. You need to be prepared to negotiate that off the selling price of the vehicle, because a $1,000 doc fee is higher than any average in any state in the United States.
Not only is it $1,007, it's $1,007.55. I mean, you have no idea the creativity it takes for a sales manager to say, we're going to make this such an unusual number that nobody is going to be able to dispute it. Well, doc fees are 100% profit. There's no cost associated with it.
And to be very clear here, this is a dealer in the state of New Jersey, a state that has no cap on dealer fees. So again, you have to be prepared. These are now three additional dealer fees and add-ons you need to know that you can negotiate on new or used cars. $1,000 doc fee might make that online advertised price look a little bit worse when you realize that the dealer's adding on $1,007 for a doc fee, and then obviously the $1,500 Resistol and the $400 vehicle theft replacement. Again, those are added on products that just add profit for the dealership, not so much for you. Here's another example. Now we're down in Atlanta, Porsche of Atlanta Northeast. This is an interesting one, Dad, because we're buying potentially a $115,000 Porsche Cayenne. And so you know what? The $3,495 paint protection film, I'm actually not too offended by that, because if you're buying a $115,000 Porsche, maybe you do actually want your paint protection film. Transport for $1,189. As a customer buying a new car, you need to be so concerned if you see an additional transportation fee on your out-the-door worksheet. If you're out of state, sure. But if you're not, this is going to be double dipping by a dealer. You can see in this case, the customer's in Florida, so maybe this is a legitimate fee. But the thing to flag here, Dad, is some dealers, unfortunately, on new and even used cars, try and hit you with another transportation fee. The transportation fee is built in, the delivery fee is built into the MSRP of the vehicle.
Oh, absolutely is. In this case, it's a quasi-legitimate fee. It does not cost $1,189 to get a car from Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale. Okay? If it in an enclosed trailer, maybe that distance from Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale might be $500, $600. So they're marking it up probably double. And the paint protection film, a clear bra for a car like that, I can understand people doing it. but it shouldn't cost $3,500.
So again, a little bit of like buyer beware here. You need to make sure you're only being charged one delivery fee, destination fee, transportation fee. Again, if you're out of state and things like that, also shop your own delivery and things like
Yes.
that as well. Man, when we see used cars that have a destination fee on it, that really, really, really grinds my gears. Here's another one, Dad. Let's make our way to a CDJR dealership, Parks CDJR in Gastonia. We've got an $88,000 vehicle, a 2026 Ram 1500, which is just mind boggling to have that word come out of my mouth. But then look at all these add-ons. Now we're adding our Mopar theft protection for $749, environmental car care for $399, window tint again, like we saw earlier, door edge guards, but this time they're cheaper. They're $189. Wheel locks again, and nitrogen tire for $178. We've got our $1,000 doc fee down there too. The fees to watch out for here are, again, the added-on products, the really high doc fee, not to mention the fact that the electronic filing fee is $399. Savvy customers can do their own research and figure out if that's actually what it costs to file in the state, and maybe get a little bit of negotiability by pushing back on that as well.
I believe this is a dealer in North Carolina, and I'm pretty sure if you were to Google electronic filing fee in North Carolina, it's not going to come up as $399. My guess is it'll probably be somewhere between 40 and $50. And so the dealer is trying to make an additional $350 or so. So these are things you just have to be aware of and you have to push back on. And the way to do that is to find out if that fee's taxable. If that $399 is taxable, well, if it's taxable, it's negotiable. Also, if it's taxable, it's not legitimate. And so you have a little more wiggle room there to argue over that one.
What do you mean if it's taxable, it's not legitimate?
Well, typically it's a made up fee. It's electronic filing fees can be real. I'm not saying they're not, but the fact that if it's only a $40 or $50 fee that the state charges, the fact that the dealership would charge $399, and if they're taxing that, that would indicate that they're selling it above the state fee, and that's why it's taxed.
Here's a used car dealer in Georgia, Dad, with a 2022 Acura RDX. This is obviously a used vehicle. And here's what customers really need to watch out for. You've got a really good selling price, $33,499. But then we have $3,000 for DOWC 360 Shield. Then you've got the title state processing fee, the doc fee, the $6,000 warranty, the $3,000 tire and wheel. And you can see all of this is above the total tax line. So everything above total taxes, to your earlier point, these are negotiable things. These are add-ons and fees that customers should be prepared to negotiate.
Oh my God, this dealer has no shame. I mean, this one might take the cake. The Dow C 360 Shield. Yeah, what is this, Star Wars? I mean, what is that for $29.95? And then to have a service contract and tire and wheel, and without ever asking if the customer wants any of this stuff. It is just, and trust me when I tell you this, and I know it's hard to trust because I'm a former car guy, but warranties don't cost $6,000. That price is so inflated that the finance manager is going to take a month-long cruise somewhere after you sign the paperwork.
Now, back at CarEdge.com, under dealer reviews, click on dealer fee report. Down at the bottom, there's the most common dealer add-ons you should be prepared for, and you can see the top 10 right here. Protection package, floor mats, VIN etch, wheel locks, guard, just general guard, window tint, paint protection, theft protection, protection plan, and then just the broad accessories, Dad. Over 5,500 quotes in our database of over 50,000 quotes just have accessories for $1,541. You can find dealers who add add-ons and find dealers who don't add add-ons back in our dealer review website, caredge.com/dealers. And again, the most important thing I think you said in there, if it's taxable, it's negotiable. So even in 2026, with the FTC pushing on dealers to clean things up, there are still all sorts of crazy taxed fees and add-ons that customers need to be prepared to see and know and feel empowered to say, no thanks, or at a minimum, negotiate the price.
Absolutely. There's always room to negotiate. And never forget, you possess the most powerful two-letter word in sales, NO. Just say no, and then eventually they'll cave.